Good afternoon and welcome once again. My name is John. I am Orphan Car Garage, and as you probably know, I'm located in Abington, Massachusetts, which, as you probably also know, is about 30 minutes south of Boston. Yes, I have another Lincoln Continental here to show you. These cars seem to be multiplying here at OCG, and I certainly have no problem with that, as I've become quite a fan. Over the years, I never really fancied myself as being a big Lincoln guy, but as of late, the tide is changing and I'm starting to really have an affinity for these cars, as they seem to be finding their way here for rehoming. And this here is another 1970s disco era Continental Town Car. This one happens to be from the year 1976, which of course is our nation's bicentennial year. The one we had here previously, which sold thanks to a YouTube viewer, was a 1978 model. And if you saw that video, you'll notice some slight changes, or if you're a Lincoln aficionado, you'll recognize that grille as being a 75 to 76 style grille. Lincoln did a minor upgrade on these for the 1977 model year, thinning out that grille, giving it a taller stance. I actually kind of prefer this one, the 75 to 76. This, of course, is the 5th generation of Continental, which started way back in the very early 1940s. The 5th generation was introduced in 1970 and lasted, I believe, till 1979, throughout the 1970s. And of course, we have here again a 1976. I purchased this car from a gentleman in Austin, Texas, a few months back. This car, along with a Corvair, believe it or not. He had a Corvair convertible, which is what originally struck my interest in his cars. Of course, you know, we get a lot of Corvairs in here at OCG as well. And he happened to mention that he was also selling his 76 Continental. I asked him to send me pictures of the car, and it absolutely blew me away. White on white with a disco red velour interior that's virtually perfect. He purchased this car from the original owner, who I believe was a neighbor of his. That original owner purchased this at Lieberman Lincoln in Austin, Texas. We have the original window sticker that shows that Lieberman was indeed the original delivered dealer of this car. This car never left Austin until I purchased it and brought it here to Massachusetts. So as you can imagine, it's a completely rust-free example. There is not one speck of rust or even the beginning of any rust anywhere on this car. It's absolutely impeccable. We are looking at a repaint of the original white, and it's beautifully done. Absolutely beautiful. We had our reconditioning guys do I believe we did a 2-part buff and wax on this car, a minor correction of the paint, and it came out stunning. The car did not need the 3 or 4 step process that we sometimes do. Also on this car, the second owner replaced the vinyl top with the correct grain material. Professionally done, and we have the receipt for that. Beautifully done. Of course, you'll find no corrosion at the base of that. Nothing in here whatsoever. Very common for these to get moisture under the vinyl roofs and start to rot the roof. You will find none of that on this car. Absolutely stunning. Beautiful chrome and trim. Outstanding condition. I'm going to open the back door. That signature rear opera window. Nicely done. The interior of this car, and I know I say that a lot, the back seat doesn't look like it's ever been sat in. It's really that nice. Look at this door panel. Now, when I received this car from the second owner, there were 2 layers of blankets on these seats, front and rear. He told me that those blankets had been there from the original owners. So it's safe to say that these seats have been covered in some form or another since the car was new. And I believe it. Really no fading at all. There is some minor fading in the carpet that you'll see there as I try to focus in. You could probably dye that. I chose to leave it original and as is. The next owner can decide to do that or not. That's really the only flaw. The interior is some minor fading on the carpet, front and rear. The seats are absolutely perfect, as is the headliner and all 4 door panels. Just unbelievable. The door openings, the edges of the doors, impeccable. You will be hard pressed to find a better example. Front seat, just as nice as the back seat. That cool embroidery in there. Virtually no wear on these seats at all. The steering wheel on these is common to delaminate. It's not. It's in beautiful condition. Driver's side door panel, just as nice as the rear. All the functions work. All these work. The power seats work as designed, as do the 4 power windows, the remote mirrors, and the power locks work, with the exception of the left rear door. The left rear door does not operate. So this left rear door needs a lock actuator. That is the only electronic flaw on this car at all. That's it. Everything else in this car works as designed. Even the original Cartier clock, it works, as does the factory temp control. Air conditioning blows cold air, as does the power antenna, which is mounted in the rear. That works as designed. All the gauges work. 84,394 miles on the odometer, and that is original. I want to show you the ashtray in this car. Look at that. Never been used. The ashtray has never been used. We've got some original paperwork in there, the manuals, and presumably an umbrella from the original owner, which we decided to leave. The stereo appears to be a correct AM/FM stereo from this vintage, but according to the window sticker that we have for this car came equipped with an AM/FM 8-track player. We have that unit. It was saved. We have the original AM/FM stereo with 8-track, and we even have the original Ford demo 8-track tape. You will receive those items when you purchase the car. We're going to assume that that unit needs to be restored and probably was not working, and that's why it was removed. I would probably send that out and have it restored by one of the many vintage radio restorers there are in the US that could fix that for you before reinstalling it. But we do have the original AM/FM 8-track player. I'm going to start the car up for you. Beautiful. Sounds great. 460 V8, 4-barrel carburetor. No crazy smoke or noises. This car does have a dual exhaust. I'm assuming this car had a single exhaust when it was new. Nice, smooth running V8. You'll notice that the air cleaner is not original. Someone put a Holley air cleaner on it, presumably to help the motor breathe a little better, maybe get a little oomph out of the 460 big block. Unfortunately, we do not have the original air cleaner housing. We do not have that to go with the car, but I'm sure that would be easily corrected. If you wanted to keep the car completely stock, you needed to find one on your own. I'm sure they're out there. AC's been converted. Just one last look around the chrome, the trim. I will tell you that these headlight doors, they're vacuum operated and they're a pain in the neck. They were a pain in the neck when they were new. Vacuum leaks that create the doors to open on their own when the car's not being run. This one's no different. After about a half hour or so of the car not running, those doors slowly start to open. And by several hours later, the doors are completely open until you start the car again. Vacuum is created off the engine intake and they close up. And of course, they open when you need them to be open, when you turn the lights on. But I did want to mention that. That was an issue that plagued these cars when they were new. There were a lot of bulletins on those vacuum leaks at the dealers when these cars were new, customer complaints. I've talked to a couple Lincoln guys about fixing it. They shrug their shoulders and say, you chase one leak, it's going to create another leak. Leave it alone. That's basically what they've told me. I did see online that there are some electrical upgrade kits. You can convert those doors to electrical actuators and supersede the vacuum. Ford loved using vacuum. Why, I don't know. So anyway, so there you have it. This bicentennial year, 1976 Lincoln Continental Town Car, only at Orphan Car Garage. This car is immaculate, as you could see. I am convinced that if this car was on any other classic car dealer's lot, the asking price would be double what I'm asking. We are asking a very reasonable $11,900 for this unbelievable 1976 disco era land yacht. You will be hard pressed to find a better one. Cars of less quality sell for more money. This car will not last. I'm convinced of it. The new owner is going to be beyond thrilled. I can guarantee you that this car will exceed its expectations. You need this car shipped or transported to you, let me know. Shoot me your zip code. I'll give you a fast quote. Probably less money than you think. My phone number is 508-954-8090. Check me out on the web, orphancargarage.com. Like us on Facebook, and of course, subscribe to us here on YouTube. Until the next one, and I do have another Lincoln coming, a rather special one, so you want to stick around for that. Make sure you subscribe. We'll see you around the block. Thank you.